All right. How you guys doing today? I'm not gonna be long. This is Keon Corniff, also known as Mr. Finance. I just wanted to come on real quick, and I wanted to share some things with you guys about life insurance because I've been watching a lot of people have their little talks, and I feel like they're not sharing all the information and even telling you what is the best choice. It's one thing to tell people about life insurance, but it's another thing to tell them, okay, what is the right one? Which one should I be doing with? Or even the fact that we may have many kind of life insurance. There's something that we have to understand about the fundamentals of life insurance, right? So let's break it down. Life insurance. Now, life insurance comes in many kinds, all right? There's many kind of life insurance out there. There's group insurance, there is term life, there's whole life, there's universal life, there's index universal life, there's variable universal life, there is accidental, there's final expense, all kind of insurance, right? But one of the things that I want you to know, and hello, Patricia, one of the things that you must know about life insurance is the simple fact that all life insurance are term insurance, all right? All insurance are term. It's just that some are short term and some are kind of long term. The long term insurance is considered to be what's called permanent insurance. Short-term insurance is also known as term insurance because it's for a period, a term, which could be in a 5-year, a 10-year, 15-year, or a 30-year term. So within this term, it's very cheap. Let me tell you all the insurance that are really cheap. Accidental, final expense, and term insurance. Those insurance are cheap. And even group insurance at your job. They're very cheap. Right? But you got to think about, my mom always say, not everything cheap is good for you, right? Because they come with different features, or better yet, they may not satisfy the things that you want to accomplish. So you got to think about, really, why am I getting life insurance? Or why did someone suggest to me to get life insurance? Now, many people give you the opportunity to get life insurance based upon the simple fact they talk about dying. And I always tell you, life insurance has nothing to do with dying, because there's something that's there for dying, and that's what I'm going to break down. How can you properly use life insurance, right? Different kind of life insurance for different scenarios, and that way you can really secure your future if you really use it properly, because life insurance is probably one of the best kept secret that you can use for properly investing, right? Now, I don't want you to think that it's an investment, like a portfolio, as in stocks and all these things. But if you use it properly and understand taxes, then you know how to use it properly when it comes down to tax advantage. Let's break it down. There's 3 ways your money get taxed when you need it: now, later, and also what I like to call never. Now is taxable money. Your checking, CD, stocks, mutual funds. These are taxable money. Tax deferred, which is also known as tax you later. This is in your 401k, 403bs, IRAs, annuities, SEP IRAs, and your pension. Then you have what they tax you never, which is also known as tax advantage, which is in your Roth. Anything that's a Roth, long-term care, municipal bonds, life insurance, 529 college savings plan, right? All of these vehicles are considered to be tax advantage. Now, what does taxable means? Taxable means that you will pay taxes for the end of that year. You got to do what's called a 1099 report sheet. And when you fill that out, you got to report their taxes every year. You got to report any gains, any interest that gain on the policy for that year. You also tax deferred. Tax deferred really means that they're going to tax you later on, right? And these vehicles come with rules, meaning that you can't touch the money before you're 59 and a half. And if you are 59 and a half and you start receiving money from this, you're taxed as ordinary income, which means that you're going to pay taxes as if that you're still working. Also, if you touch the money before 59 and a half, they will penalize you 10% of that income and additional to taxes as well. Now, here's another thing. If you don't take the money out before 70 and a half, they will penalize you 50%. This is in a tax later vehicle, all right? Which is also known as tax deferred, which is now presented to you as a retirement plan in today's date. Here's the thing. Tax advantage. Tax advantages mean that you generally won't pay tax on the withdrawal of the money from these vehicles, which is in life insurance that we're going to talk about. So life insurance is one of these vehicles that get tax advantages. Now, here's what I want you to do your homework on. I want you to Google the term 7702, right? Section A. 7702 Section A. And you learn very well what does that tax code mean when it comes to life insurance. It's a really great way for you to understand straight to the point what does this mean when it comes to life insurance. Now, many of us over the time have been told that we need to get either term life or whole life. They tell you that term is cheap, and they tell you that whole life guarantee you money. Now, are those two terms right? Yes, they are. But here's what it didn't tell you. This is the other part that they didn't tell you about this. Term. Term is cheap for the moment when you started. But when that term is over, when you got older, remember, insurance. Insurance is tied to your age. So it's based upon your age. All right? That's how they determine how much the cost of insurance will be. Because they determine what is your risk factor. How close are you to dying? Right? It's a calculation that they do. How close are you to dying? And what is the odds of you living long enough to pay up your policy? It's a business, guys. So you got to understand how to play the business. So with term, cheap in the moment, but when it comes time to renew it, it gets expensive. Whole life. Whole life is fixed. It's a fixed product. What does fixed product mean? It means that it doesn't have any flexibility. Now, instead of me tell you exactly what I mean by flexibility, let's bring it back to the Blue Book. If you don't have a copy of this book yet, please get in touch with me. Inbox me. So that way we can make sure you get a copy of this book and you can learn a little bit more. Let's break it down. It tells you right here on page 39 in the Blue Book, what does it mean to have flexibility? It says universal life, because we're going to talk about something that's a universal life today. It says universal life. The difference between universal life and whole life is the flexibility. Let me break down what I mean for you. It means that you can change your premium and you could pay more one month or less the next. It also says sometimes when you face money problems, you can even skip a few months payments as long as you have enough cash value inside the policy to cover or pay what's called the cost of insurance. All right? So that's what you need when it comes to insurance. You need flexibility. You need to have flexibility within life insurance. All right? Because many of us buy a whole life and there's no flexibility. Now, here's something else that they don't tell you about whole life either. Now, did you know that the whole life, the opportunity for the cash value to build up in a whole life is it's not a bad way, but it doesn't give you enough insurance. It doesn't give you enough interest earning potential. All right? And then you got to look at the loan charges. You don't believe me? If you have a whole life, I want you to go look in your whole life policy and read it. And you're going to come back and you're going to thank me. And you're going to come back on this video and say, Keon, you were right. Go in there and I want you to look at how much earning potential as far as interest you could earn in your whole life. And then I also want you to go look within your terms for when you're going to take out a loan. And you're going to be shocked what is the interest that they charge you for taking out a loan, and you have to pay it back. And then here's another thing. You're going to be shocked at how much the earning potential as far as interest. So interest is tied to the market's performance. And what is it? And then look at the flexibility that you don't have as well, right? I'm speaking on factual things. So let me tell you what a whole life is. You guys think I'm playing around? Now, listen to this. It says whole life is the original and the oldest form of cash value life insurance. So think about this. Whole life was the starting out of the industry when it comes down to the first permanent, right? One of the oldest permanent insurance. Now, it's like me telling you, hey, is a 1992 Honda Civic better than a 2017? Things change. Things evolve. Yes, they both run. Yes, they both drive. But is the comfort the same? Is the technology inside the car the same? Does the 92 give you what the 2017 can? Is it the same horsepower? Is it fast as if the same one here in 2017? Two different time periods, two different technologies, two different kind of era. So whole life is outdated. And one of the things that we need in today's date, based upon the cash, based upon how life is today, it's unpredictable. We need flexibility. Because if you don't have flexibility, what happens is this. You may get this thing and you may lose it. So here's what it says. Instead of paying just the cost of insurance, you pay higher premiums. What is premiums? You see this? This is not me saying it now. This is me telling you the facts. In whole life, you pay a higher premium, which is a monthly, whatever your monthly is, you pay it higher than anything else. Let's break it down. It says the difference between the cost of insurance and the premium goes into your cash value. Whole life policies give you a guaranteed rate of interest. Some insurance company may provide dividends, but dividends are not guaranteed. That's whole life. That's whole life for you. So once again, let me read this again. I'm going to read the whole thing again for you so you hear it. It says whole life is the original and the oldest form of cash value life insurance. Instead of paying just the cost of insurance, you pay higher premiums. The difference between the cost of insurance and the premium goes into the cash value. Whole life policies give you a guaranteed rate of interest. Some insurance companies may provide dividends, but dividends are not guaranteed. And I repeat again, dividends in a whole life policy are not guaranteed. Let's continue about whole life policy. The cash value, compounded with interest buildup in the early years, will pay for the higher cost of insurance in the later years. So the policy can last a lifetime. Whole life is typically not very flexible. The premium is fixed. The interest guarantee and the death benefit fixed. Since insurance companies have guaranteed the interest for the whole life, they tend to give a conservative rate. As a result, the cash buildup can be slow. Here it is again. Let me repeat it. Since the insurance companies have to guarantee the interest for the whole life, they tend to give a conservative rate. Conservative mean low. That's fancy word for low interest on the earning potential. And then it says, as a result, the cash value buildup can be slow. Let me give you some more. It should be noted that these type of policies may have surrender charges. You hear that? It should be noted that these types of policies may have surrender charges. Fees associated with canceling the policy in the early years. These are long-term whole life products. Now, did you know that? That's the power of knowledge, is knowing. But now the way the power is really become powerful is when you apply it. If you have a whole life policy, you need to talk to me. If you have a term policy, you need to talk to me. Because let me tell you about what they don't want you to know. Bring me back to universal life now. Universal life. The difference between universal life and whole life is flexibility. You can change your premium. You can pay more one month or less the next. Sometimes when you face money problems, you can even skip a few months' payments. You can skip a few payments as long as the cash value inside the policy is enough to pay for the cost of insurance. Here's another flexibility that you have. You can adjust your death benefit to fit your life-changing conditions. Meaning this, did you know as you get older, you don't need as much life insurance? Because remember, life insurance is based upon your age. So the older you are, the more expensive life insurance will get. All right? So as you get older, you don't need that much coverage based upon the circumstances that you do have. So that means that you can lower the death benefit so that way the cash value can continue to grow. They don't want to tell you that. Here's another one. You can adjust your death benefit to fit your life-changing conditions. The interest on the cash value may also be sensitive to the market conditions. That allows the insurance companies to adjust the interest rate to give you a higher or lower rate if necessary. So that means it's tied to how the inflation is happening. But in your whole life, it doesn't do that because it's a fixed interest rate. So it doesn't adjust to the cost of living or if the life changes. It doesn't change in whole life. But in a universal life product, it does. It adjusts to life-changing moments that happens. So this is why I always wonder why they never talk about the other sections. If you look at the companies, they talk to you about term life and whole life, where they try to sell you on buy term, invest the difference. What the hell that means? Let's break it down. Buy term, invest the difference. Many people say, why bother with cash value life insurance? It says especially whole life, when you could use the strategy such as buy term, invest the difference. The question, right? It questions why you should pay, for example, $1,000 a year for a whole life when you could just pay $200 for a term insurance for some coverage, for the same coverage. You can invest the difference of $800 into an investment such as a mutual funds. Wait a second. So now they want to suggest that you could buy a term, invest the difference, and then the difference that you're going to invest it in is something like a mutual fund. Now remember I told you that if you understand taxes, you know where to put your money. So if you're going to invest your money into a mutual fund, let's find out where this lands for you as far as taxes. Now mutual funds is underneath the tax bracket of tax now. So tax now means you have to report and pay taxes on the gains in this policy for every year that it gains, doesn't it? So that means you got to pay taxes every year. You have to start thinking, why invest the difference? Now let's give you the real truth why they tell you to invest the difference. It's because as they get their license, that they have another license and they get a management fees for managing that money. So every time they put your money in a mutual funds, they make at least a management fees of anywhere from 1% to 3%. So it's another way for them to guarantee to make money. Okay? Pay attention now. Now let me break this down because I have to run. If you want more, if you find the information that I'm sharing with you is so powerful, and you see that this is something that you didn't know about and you need to learn a little bit more about, I need you to inbox me. Inbox me ASAP. Inbox me soon. Inbox me quickly so that way I can empower you. Let me give you a suggestion. There's a formula called the 10-20 formula that you must know. And what it means is this. You need to have 10 times your income in place for insurance needs. You need 20 times your income in order to retire comfortably. So pretty much what they mean is this. If you have 10 times your income in place, that means it will cover your family. God forbid something happened to you while you're building your wealth. It will cover your family as you go on for the next 10 years and making that transition of missing you. Right? Then if you decide that you want to retire, you need to have 20 times your income in order to retire comfortably. Because most of the time what happens is that people go into retirement and don't have enough money, and they think by age 65 Social Security will take care of them, and it's not enough money to cover their needs. So you need to have 20 times your income in order to retire comfortably, because they say from 65 to 85 is the average life expectancy for someone to live upon. But many people are living much longer than that today, so the greater need for saving more may be much higher. So then you got to learn how to grow my money much quicker. This is the reason why I suggest for you to start looking into what's called an Index Universal Life. This is something that I'm an expert in, and I master this. This is something that I'm good at, and I have access to companies that give you earning potentials of 15% of your earning potential in the market, and then it gives you a guaranteed floor. If the market goes down negative, you can get a 0.75%. You also get tax advantages. What are these tax advantages I'm talking about? You get tax deferred earnings, means that you do not pay taxes on the gains on the policy. You also get what's called tax-free death benefit. Something happens to you while you're building your wealth in these vehicles, your family will get that tax-free income, so they don't have to worry about probate. Then you also get tax-free withdrawals and tax-free loans. Did you know that under the Internal Revenue, which is the IRS guidelines, insurance policies receive many favorable tax advantages? Here's another one. So Index Universal Life, what you should really use it for is to secure your future for your family, and also save for your future and have it as a tax-free retirement. And it's a great way to supplement for retirement. Another thing that you must know, the perks that comes in this. You get protection. Protection from what? Garnishment, lawsuit, divorce, even child support, because it's not considered an asset. This is something that you can use to save money for your children as well for their college planning. Also, here's another perks that you get. It's a great way to create emergency fund, because you can have access to money without paying a penalty for it. Here's another one. It's a great way for retirement, because you could grow your money in here and receive it tax-free. And it also gives you another incentives of protection for, if God forbid, if you get sick, where you get chronic, where you get long-term care, where you can also get terminal illness right on these things. These are things that you have to understand. Also, another one that you get for college planning for the kids. You can plan for their college and start saving for them from when they are 15 days old. A child could qualify for this from 15 days old. So these are another great perks that you get. How about the S? You get a nice way to save, because you have the earning potential of 15%. So if the market does 20%, you will get 15. And if the market goes down negative like it did in 2001 and 2008, they guarantee you that your money will always be safe. So that way you get a 0.75% interest. The only thing is that we got to learn to qualify. Here's another thing that you got to put in place. You also got to understand that life insurance, the word life, it means for living. So that means it's for when you're living. If you die tomorrow and you have a life insurance only, it won't pay out tomorrow to help your family supplement to pay for their funeral expenses. That's something you need to know. Here's another thing that you need to know. You need to make sure that you have something what's called final expense in place. Because if you don't have final expense in place, guess what? You're going to have a hard time paying for funeral unless you have money saved up. So final expense is something that you need to have also tied to your life insurance. Final expense is really cheap. So once you get final expense untied to your life insurance, you know you're secure. You can start using your life insurance to save for the future and protect your family. God forbid, so that God forbid moments happen, they're good. Then you use final expense. Final expense is used to where it's for the final expense. And there's a lot of concierge service that come with these final expense companies. Some of the good thing is this. They pay out in 24 hours or even sooner for you to be able to take care of the funeral expenses. you got to contact me. You need to get in my inbox. You need to listen to this and share this so that way people could know. These are the things that we have to understand. So you need to understand that life insurance is for the living. That's not for funeral. You need to understand that final expense is for funeral. You need to have both. So that way you can really protect yourself and make sure that nobody's over here scrambling or put out a GoFundMe just to take care of you. You have a good day. My name is Keon Corniff, also known as Mr. Finance. All right. So always remember, I'm that guy. I am your financial guru. I am the finance guy. I am your guy, and I'm always going to give you the information first before you even make a sale or even before you make a decision. Because here's my thing. I have to educate you so that way you can make an educational decision, not an emotional one. Get rid of the emotions. Let's talk about money. All right? Let's keep on having these money talks. Always remember, you're one decision away from changing your future for the better. Inbox me, comment. Let's talk. Have a good day. Bye-bye.